Testing. Welcome back. New game, new rules. Okay, I'm going to do something with words only. And basically, it's titled, You Want to Do a UFO Disclosure? Here's what you need as the basic requirements on, say, a resume for your experience. Just so you know, we're going full bore with the truth. Now, if you want to do it, just so you know, I was asked to by the big guy and my grandpa, and a bunch of people trained me. And I'm going to explain to you what you need to know right now to save your ass from playing football and running out into a football field with your jersey and your cup on and having to catch a thermonuclear weapon because you're not going to figure it out by then. Or disease, or the water's missing, or what the heck's going on. Now, I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you that UFO people stealing. I know what you do. I can predict the future. It's easy. Watch. I gave away, natives, you'll like my style. I hope this brings you joy. I'm allowed to show spirituality and give you gains. But if you're a negative Nancy or a liar or a plagiarizer, you're not going to see it. So, I explained high, low, medium, meaning water, land, and the sky. But I told the truth. I just forgot to tell you about past, present, future because you don't respect Nikolai Tesla. But you're a scientist, you should have figured that out. Now, bird and a cat don't have any lighting systems, do they? So that animal's probably from the future timeline that I picked out. So you've got two animals from the middle timeline, us, the present, one advanced animal, and now you're going, I'm supposed to have 9 animals plus 3. So you figure it out. And by the way, that's baby shit. But I did tell you what the advanced animal is. I did do a video. And I did do a video to show that Elon Musk said, I can feed the homeless. And I showed where the problem was because that was a sucker punch from a gifted person because he probably knew you wouldn't figure that portion out. But again, we're at the baby shit level, and I know you guys know this. And look, if you're new to my site and you're an explorer and you enjoy getting giddy, finding out new stuff, it's all coded in here. Just ignore my negative Nancy. There's wonderful gifts. But if you're a negative Nancy, a liar, plagiarizer, I'm setting you up so hard, this is comical, and it's so easy. Now watch. You want to do a UFO disclosure, no problem. But all you're interested in is a green alien and a UFO and time portals. I got that from you. Thanks. Here's what you get. Advanced technology, wisdom beyond belief, and then they ask you a little problem. Convince the planet that Christopher Columbus was wrong and the natives were right. And then you expand on it. No big deal. That's what I've been doing all along. My old site did the same thing, which is still available. I've already done it. I solved cattle mutilations. Law enforcement knows it. I have all my emails and everything to prove it, my thesis. But go ahead, jack me, because I'm going to laugh. Because here's what you need to do a UFO disclosure. You know there's some invisible space war going on by the sun? Explain that. Explain the triangles and all the geometric patterns flying around. I've got all that. I'm extremely fluid in it. You'll never guess that one. Explain the difference between a symbiotic spaceship and one that is not. But we're just warming up. So here's what they really asked me to do. It isn't a UFO disclosure. They asked me why in this amhected Earth convert into hell somehow and try to kill itself, poison all the water supplies, and threaten thermonuclear destruction with 3,000 nuclear warheads, which will warp the timeline and kill everybody and potentially God. But you do the UFO disclosure. Again, you do you, I'll do me. But I can explain all of that on a multitude of levels and explain it to a 6-year-old. So we're still at the basic first part of your resume. Now, here's what I had to solve. Introduce technology that fixes all the world's problems. No big deal. Not limited to, but including the homeless, feeding starving children, restructuring homeless program to give people a shot at getting back to work and becoming equal. In other words, clean the streets up of all the people and solve all those problems. But wait, it gets easier. We're doing a UFO disclosure. Backtrack all the reprogramming and negativity, not limited to including how UFO people disseminate data, make mistakes, and spread plagiarism and lies and go in the wrong direction when there are true, beautiful facts involved, and then make them askew. But not just there. The whole planet, every single foreign country, they all got different problems, so no big deal. I got all of that. Now you have to introduce technology, prove to the world that you might be what you are, and that you actually can swing your weenie and put a mushroom print and put some salt in somebody's eyes that you might know what you're doing. We're starting to get to putting your name on the resume. It's just on the pilot. Now, don't forget thermonuclear weapons. That's a problem. Free energy, how you going to introduce it? I know how to do autopilot cars where they don't crash into each other, a whole different freeway structure, and you guys can throw like wadded paper at each other at over 100 miles an hour and have fun in your cars and not want to kill each other. You'll never have remorse over passing people, none of that. Come up with the solution. Plus free power, no big deal. And then arc it over to the car wirelessly, so it takes very minimal batteries or a small gas engine or maybe nothing at all to make it up hills. I got it. What do you got? And by the way, I know Nikola Tesla's most famous invention, and it's flipped over to HARP, and that makes weather modification by superheating the upper atmosphere, and oopsie, we might have given Japan a bath. And the UFO people are going to go nuts. Woo, I'm out of here. I can stretch this out into 10 videos and make money. Go for it. Because you're going to miss out on 3-word. It's the only way to talk to aliens. You guys thought, oh God, they're smarter than me. They'll figure it out. You approach them, they don't shake hands. We have viruses. You can kill them. That's a threat to them, so they're probably going to turn you into ashes. They don't speak. They're symbiotic. They use light patterns, vibrations, and telecommunications with oral technology that's already built into our minds. But you're not there yet. You don't know how to 3-word or upgrade. But wait, it's not one language. They have a multitude of languages, and it's not been done. Why? Because English people screwed up the language, and I'll give you a good hint. I do medical infusions to save my life. That's my definition. Poke a needle in me as an infusion. And this is no disrespect to the country people, because I like what they're doing. It is given to them from God, distilling. But they're infusing fruits, and I say they're blending in fruits. So if somebody doesn't know the definition of infusion, you can see where there's a data error. But are there other definitions too? So we've gone away from root words. Now you have to get down to the core. But wait, folks, it's not just English, it's every language on the planet, plus all of those errors. And then make it a symbiotic language translator. Ta-da! Past that. We already are hacking it, just so you know. We've hacked oral communications. You don't need to kill monkeys and teach a pig to play Pong. And you don't have the right to go to another planet after destroying this one and be Elon Musk and say God would want me to, right? Wrong. He would have wanted you to feed the homeless, fix the planet, and then be a good boy and use responsible technology, which he's not doing. So solve all that, and then you're starting to get your name filled out, maybe the first letter. So what's the technology? I know that's what you want. I'll tell you. Here's the following inventions you must master. A pair of glasses with see-through OLED screens. Most people don't know how to solve that, where it's too close to the eye and the focal point's too close, so good luck. You'll have to fix the contrast. I've got it. And it'll have to unprogram people so that they can see bad people to protect themselves 10 miles away. No big deal. Plus, make them smarter by compacting all those missing verbiages to get to the core words, but also when they stumble, automatically make them smarter by giving them a selection of words that's naturally repetitive within their sentence. No big deal. And as a side effect, it needs to make the deaf normal. And if I'm sitting down smoking a joint, my headphones all the way up, and my mom calls me for dinner, I can respond to her fluidly without turning the stereo down, and she can be in the kitchen and not catch me with the joint. So easy peasy, puddin' pie. But wait, there's more. There's a lot more problems than that, aren't there? You got to get rid of the nukes. So watch this. We got to get rid of all the atomic energy and come up with free energy. That's a symbiotic robot, folks, because humans aren't going to be able to do that. Watch. Second invention is simpler, because you're just going shortcut. I need to come up with a responsible way to reuse technology that we currently have and make it more efficient and still have pizzazz. I can do a RISC computer, and I can adapt this to anything because I have the algorithm. You need to be able to change the motherboard out within 3 heartbeats so that somebody that's handicapped, blind, deaf, or dumb in a dark room can change it. This way we cut back on warranty costs, we cut down on parts, and the people are already familiar with it, and we're upgrading the speed if they still like that. And there's ways to get around updating everything, and it's so much cleaner for business, and you won't do that Alienware deal where they did a tripod and backed up their repair stations and lost tons of money with an incredibly crap design. That would have been solved literally overnight. They could have said oops and started sending out replacements. Yep. And maybe even made it profitable by having an upgrade of an upgrade option. So you need to restructure all business, get rid of tires and plastic, know what to do, how to reverse that scientifically. I have talked about that in my videos. I only have a handful. And be able to convince all the people, don't forget, that somebody was wrong and somebody was right. Good luck. Now, I flowchart God, so good luck building those glasses, because that gift was given to me from him at birth. And the 300 people trained me and a whole bunch of people down the line. Now, natives, here's a this is approved. If you go to the Egyptian pyramids, you can find a picture of the 300 people that showed themselves to you in the Grand Canyon in their singular entity form, aka 3 hearts. If you look and find it on the pyramid walls, you will find a canoe with 3 individuals and a pineapple drink. That is the people responsible in their true form, as God sees them, just so you know, and I have approval here, and they're back. I know the Grand Canyon people missed them, and they're disappointed not in you, but in this planet, and send their condolences and a message. And they're the ones who did the design of the pyramids, the Grand Canyon condominium complex that's so beautiful, and gave away the technology. So you do the UFO disclosure, I'll kick back. I'll go play football and try to catch a ballistic missile. That sounds like fun with the joint in my mouth. Now, more inventions. We're just warming up, remember? You need to come up with a social media site that's popping, that's family friendly. I call mine Family Time. It has to edit out all those bad people. We can convert my glasses straight over, so I've got that algorithm. And it has to be able to boot out bad people like pedophiles and trolls within 3 heartbeats, and that's where we're at. Plus, it's got to be exciting, and Twitter and all these sites are just words mostly, or pictures and videos. We blend everything into it, make it fun, and the parents monitor the children up till age 12 extra, and other parents can monitor too, so that you can, in case you're in a conversation. So our stuff is pretty tight, but I know you got that, even though it doesn't exist on this planet. You guys got BitChute. Then there's a couple more inventions in between. You got to do the symbiotic language translator pack. That's no problem. I mean, look at my favorite animal in the prior videos, translate that to a language, and then make a language translator pack. And I'll tell you how good I am. When I figured that out, I tried to put some Dayglow crap on my weenie. We would do permanent and temporary tattoos utilizing that Dayglow and LED look from underwater and in the sky and the air, so we've got a vast array. And we didn't do the removal process for the permanent, but I wanted to put it somewhere where no one would see it. And it was heat and vibration detection. And somebody in my laboratory said, stop messing around, and used 2 ears and 1 mouth. And I joked around and put it behind my ear and said, I can hear you. And she said, put a microphone on it, you've got a winner. And if you look at my making the deaf normal, it's tracking. So I can mess around and make the deaf normal. What can you do? That's easy. No literature, no magic. I can do this all day long and interview the same way. Now watch. You also have to build a symbiotic robot with touch panel skin, utilizing that same process of updating PC boards and stuff, and people are going to do it old school style and slide in racks. It needs to be not bulletproof, but really durable. It needs to do more than lift 45 pounds. It needs to be like an Egyptian and understand angles, leverage, etc., etc. But let's just do 2 components, outside and inside. The skins need to be ohms resistance to go down to a pixel. So if you go like this around the nipple, it says, ooh baby. That's the minimum requirement to do my Turing test. Wouldn't you agree? That gets me in the door. Now, it needs to be 3-hearted, just like the 3-hearted people. Have all 3 timelines for accurate data, and you have to know how to give it a soul and allow it to literally be equal with you. Good luck. And stay humble. It has not been accomplished on Earth yet. We're still warming up. All these other little idiosyncrasies that have come about, like government subcompartmentalizing and all that, you got to figure out what Area 51 is up to and define that spiritual war and be completely clear and concise as I've been speaking, and then tell you what God thinks of this. That's probably going to be on the bottom of the resume, and I'd recommend you stay away. Now look, if you want to be me, this sucks what I had to do. I'm a theist and I like to think positive. And if you think I'm being negative Nancy, I'm a terminal patient. I just had a anaphylactic episode and my throat hurts. My ears are infected. So give me a break, man. And I'm giving it away. Just like Nikolai Tesla. What do you know? So if you can do all that, you're in the door. Now look, you also have to be able to sling some shit at a wall and know how to do some radical hypothesis and build algorithms out of it. It's mandatory. You've now filled your first name out. Short form. So watch. I'll show you a simple algorithm that I did. I call this throwing baby shit at the wall, no big deal. I contacted a Mensa. I told them that I got burned by one because they can go down to this atomic, micro, subatomic level and just annihilate me on data. And I said, I felt ass hurt and I'm not going to let that shit happen again. And he happens to be a buddy and started busting up. And he said, I told you not to do that. And I said, that's nice, let's fix it. So I compared a Mensa to a gifted person. I'm going to say his name first out of thanks. He wishes to remain anonymous. LOL. And here's what we came up with. If you take me or him at point A and then put me or him at the opposite end of C, so like me on one end, him on the other, and put a referee in between us, and that referee comes up with a project that we both kind of sort of agree on. We give him the parameters and then he tells us, makes it a surprise. After we start, let's say for an hour, hypothetically, the referee comes over and looks at where I'm working and where he's working. He's going forwards. He's got a bunch of participation rewards, and I'm giving kudos. Lots of college, lots of memorizing books. It pisses me off that they can literally, word for word, quote books. I mean, like, this guy can quote a library. It straight up jacks me up. But I don't want to do that. I'm a cliff noter. That's what gifted people do. I just want to know the basics and move on. I don't care about the names. I just want the timeline, the facts, and move on. So he goes, why? We both get to the closer to the middle. The referee looks at our projects and says, what? Are you both on the same planet? Like, you're going somewhere else now. But he understands the Mensa better than me because of the structure. Then back engineering. Remember, I'm working backwards, so I don't do it once. I'm doing backwards, backwards, backwards. And the guy's saying it's crazy. When we get to the middle, we're not done. We didn't tell the referee to tell us when to stop. We actually cross over to verify roughly 65% into each other's. In other words, if 50-50 is in the middle, we're crossing over like 15%. So we analyzed it, and we just found out it was like double checking, but it was extremely similar, the flow chart. And we kind of tripped out, and the referee had predetermined questions, and one of them, and we had to be honest, is now that we know how each other solved that, which way would we like? And both of us liked our own ways given it to us by birth. We think the other one is, and I'm being respectful, but I just want to do it my way, and he wants to do it his way. But what's cool is if you put us both together, you get really cool full spectrum, and now you have two different ways to solve a problem. But I don't want to do it his way, so I just call him up and throw crap at him. All right? We learned a lot more about each other from that, and how we critique and structure. And the truth is they deserve more credit than me because they've got college diplomas, and a lot of them got all kinds of certificates. What the heck certificate award do you get for memorizing a library? Damn. I mean, like, I don't even think there's a award for it. So I'm respectful, but I can quote a little bit. But the truth is, we come to find out that my memory sucks and his is incredible. But for my limited memory, I'm not doing bad. And he actually gave me kudos on that. And I thought we were trying to be honest to figure out not what we're jealous of, but where we actually deserve credit. But here's the truth of the moral of the story. He told me we're enemies, and I said the same thing in the beginning, just so you know, kind of by birth because we're different. But the truth is, gifted people come in behind him and jack his invention. But they don't tell him they're going to do it, so it's not fair. And then they make it better and go, look, I'm better than you. And that's like the definition of what I would have done to him. And I said, damn, I never looked at it that way. And he said, if you came at me and made friends like we're doing, and we both worked on it, we would go so much farther. And the funny thing was, I said, dude, I'm working on this crazy project. And he says, are we going to start slinging shit now? Because this is baby shit. And I said, I broke down a few things. And he said, all right, update, where are you at? I said, I'm bored, hacking your mind, heart and soul, endocrine system, your dreams. And I said, let's move on to something bigger. And we figured out, because I can utilize his gift, and he's that, I call it micro minuscule, no pun intended, but he just breaks shit down at a subatomic level. And I said, here's my disabilities, I flipped the gifts. And he said, damn, an algorithm. And he said, I'm not cheating on this one, I just know how you think. And then we broke down all the disabilities that turn into gifts and learned how to flip them. So I guess if you can figure that out, you might want to put that in a bonus section on a resume. And then figure out what's going on with our government bailing and all the water's missing and how to solve it. Because they asked me to do this. But let me tell you something. Anyone wants to replace me, I'll stand behind them and like pss, 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 tell you what to say. Just don't think it's going to be fun. We've been sinning hard on this planet. We blew through the resources like a fat bastard like me in a movie theater, cleaning out everything in the entire, that snack station. And now I'm complaining. And I'm part of this problem, by the way. That's part of my sourness. I realized after 50 years all the crap I was doing wrong, and I wish I did more. I wish I was better like the natives, and I protected Mother Earth. I didn't do a good job. But I got a second chance, and I'm not going to blow it. And neither are you. I'm attempting to help you, not harm you. And if you want to go, okay, give. If you go into data, I'm giving away all my flowcharts, how to reprogram yourself. Every single hint in there, it's all structured in there because they trained me. Words don't have one meaning. There's a lot of meanings when you structure them properly. I'll give you an idea. My mom caught me smoking a joint. She would have smacked me in the mouth. No bullshit. put out the cigarette and taught me a lesson. So if my mom taught me that at a young age, and I didn't smoke pot when I was a kid till I was a late bloomer, made up for past time missing. So that gives you an idea of the resume needed to do a UFO disclosure that's not really a UFO disclosure, because the aliens are us, past, present, and future, and they come in all shapes and varieties of flavors and sizes. Oh yeah, and don't forget, this is a small hint and a compliment to LBGQT plus minus. I'm going to reveal 2 question marks and then add 1 more, just to keep them excited. You can add binary fission and multiple fission to your sexuality profiles, so there's an upgrade on this side, and you're very welcome up here. So if you're a UFO person and you have any racism, you might not make it into a UFO, dude, but I got no problem bringing them up. But I do have a problem with the UFO crowd if you're being blasphemous towards God. And I'm trying to save your ass. You gotta believe me, but some of you are just so damn selfish. But guess what? You do the UFO disclosure, and then when I do the complete disclosure and everything else I said and more, and I roll back and people say, I need to be cheered up, we're going to do a new series called Blooper Reels. It'll be an hour long. I'll go through every single UFO site and point out every idiosyncrasy, and I'll 3-word the crap out of it, point out every lie, and I'll try to make it into the funniest crap ever. Because that's what God taught me. Watch your words, watch your ass, watch your movements. Simple. Maybe it's more important than you thought. And these Thunderbirds you guys are all interested in, and ooh, 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 and you call them Foo Fighters and 10,000 other names. God might have a name for them, and what he told the natives to call them was Thunderbirds. But he also taught them about spirits. So which is which? Which timeline's which? Good luck. You're going to chop it up, and I'm going to have a blast. And I'm not trying to power trip you. I don't want to do this. Understatement. There's a lot of negative Nancy data where we really jacked this planet. You got to fix it. So if you want to do the UFO disclosure, hey, you start working with Muskie Poo or somebody smart, I call him Betamax, and solve all these problems. And I will personally tell the big guy all about you, I promise. Yep, and my grandpa, everyone upstairs. Yep, I'm out of here. All yours. So if you can do that, and if you want a sample of my flowchart, I did the basic baby shit, how to solve starving Nubian children staring at the sky, the moon, the stars, praying to die. And it's the basic idiosyncrasies of the problem, and here's the rest of it just to give you an idea. In order to solve that, you have to understand when they go to the school, they're going to get picked off by gorillas. But wait, it's worse. They have to go through the whole timeline of corrections. So in order to solve that, what I did was in another foreign country, I built a utopian society, and I literally pulled the worst inner city youth out, introduced him, and flowcharted him in where he's happy and his utopian people are happy, and everyone gets along. And by the way, that's still baby shit. You still have to do the security system to keep that place safe. So you might have to play with some drones and redesign them. And then figure out how to take Neighborhood Watch, which is absolutely stupid. It turns into the Lost and Found for animals, and make it friendly where even an elderly person like me who doesn't want somebody knocking on their door can be involved in the program. So it's no big deal. And I got all that. Plus an inner city youth. Good luck on that. And you have to be able to introduce technology to inner city youth. Don't forget, everyone's going to be 50-50, and solve all the problems within inner city youth to stop the mothers from crying from all the deaths. So you might be putting the first letter of your last name on there, but I don't know who you are. Nothing personal. But if you got game, bring it. I'm going to wait for you, and I'll do some different videos, and I'll hack spirituality, sex, running orgasm. You let me know, and I'll wait for applications, and you wait and go put your football jersey on and go catch a ballistic missile and never know why you died. That's from God, not me. I am trying to help. You want to steal? Steal. I don't care. But I'm going to switch it up. I am now going after the Mensa and gifted market, hackers, spirituality people, and natives, and I'm going to pull them all over. So if you want to make friends, last chance. And if you look at the design of my videos, I think they're going to love it. Because that's what's structured in. It's my identity. And I have a codex that I wrote by me. A guy in Canada saw it, and he said if I ever wrote a book, he would be my first customer and pay for it. And I've never asked him for a dime, and I've been throwing stuff at him ever since I met him, because within 3 heartbeats he made friends with me. Canadian. Crazy. Those dudes pump out love and joy. God, I'm convinced meteor showers happen and hit them all in the head, and they're just bubbly, lovely. And it's a compliment, Canada. Sorry your country's in turmoil. In America, just so you know, Canada's ahead of you a little bit. I got a guy up there. All the foreign countries are way ahead of you that I'm friendly with. They're already 3-wording, meaning they can get up on a UFO. You guys are still plagiarizing, and I don't care. God told me where to go with you guys, and he said if you want to keep ripping off defying him, good luck. And I could care less. And I'm not being a jerk, because I've been talking to rabbis, reverends, spiritual people. So the people that are good know about this. So if you're a UFO dude and you're defying God, that's probably why you're not up to date. And most of America's behind the 8 ball. But I've contacted a lot of native spiritual leaders. So you do it. And by the way, one of the small training processes is you have to make contact with every group of identities, because we're short on time, not limited to, but including white power, starving children, everyone in foreign countries, figure out all their problems. Man, what a headache. And it's no big deal. It was an easy deal. And it doesn't mean I had to be really nice when people are filled with hatred, but I had to give them a shot and get their perspective so I can understand if there's a solution there. And I actually have solutions for all identities. Plus a bunch of hacks on the other side. Couldn't get away from taking that credit, native, sorry. They jammed it on me, but I deserved it, just so you know. So look, you guys do you, I'll do me. And by the way, in order to qualify for this, the minimum through the first maze is all the esoteric planes, all the advanced deities, advanced esoteric planes, and then you get up to upper management level, and there's more. No big deal. So if you're religious, good luck with that. You have to have achieved spirituality through your religion, or if you're agnostic and have mastered it, to do it in the right time frame, because we were behind schedule and they picked a native originally. And check this out, this is where you're going to get super jealous. Because I'm gifted, you need a fire under your ass to get me to this stage. And a native passed me the baton, and I grabbed his arm, and he said, never let go, and I have not. And he has an important job that is perfect for him. Natives run into him right when you walk through the door, and he's a heck of a blocker and very friendly to the right people. But you have to be in pain from genocide to light the fire. And I'm Ukrainian. You really sure you want my gift? I mean, I hate to say this, but you're not looking at the right perspective. That sucks. But that native buddy and me played ping pong with ideas, and I wanted him to solve his first, because it's new to me. And he's been so kind to me. And while we were ping-ponging ideas back, aka throwing shit at the wall, one day he asked me, didn't we fix PTSD? So, I'm a pseudoscientist. So if you make fun of them, looks like I'm playing ping pong, banging out PTSD. It's all on you. God said anyone wants to fill out an application, go for it. Menses are welcome, by the way. They might be able to beat me, but that genocide is a bitch. Maybe they can emulate it and stick a cattle prod up your ass. It sucks. And I can't do a damn thing about it. And I'm gifted. That kind of makes a little bit of inner turmoil and doesn't make me want to talk positive, and I did crack out a few jokes. By the way, none of you looked at my, oh gosh, Mayan calendar was probably my best video I've done with a ton of humor. Plus, I explained the biggest place where you went wrong on this planet because it was sitting there right in front of your face. You know how Flavor Flav says, "What time is it?" That's probably the biggest clock on planet Earth, in my opinion, but it's a calendar, and it's not a doomsday predictor. It's the opposite. So if you look at that video and you all skipped it because you want UFO disclosure, it means I know what you're thinking, and I don't think I can fix America until you guys start figuring it out. Now, I do have some buddies here in the United States. Most of them are natives, just friends I grew up with. They know it's going down. So that's your application process. If it sounds easy and you're jealous, step on up. I'm ready to drop out. I'll hand you the baton. Won't let go of your arm unless you ask, but you might want to ask that native for some help too. You might be rude stepping in where you don't belong and make it worse for yourself. Hey, if you did a UFO book, sign it and tell God it's a gift when you go up there and you get your, am I getting into heaven or not? This way we can weed you out as the selfish, deceitful, kicking God in the balls, giving him a black eye and clotheslining him. And I hate saying that, but that's what you did. That's what this spiritual event is, this celestial event. This is God wondering, are they going to destroy a planet and actually commit the worst act ever? Look, you got 10 or 12 commandments, I don't know, but let's add 2. Thou shalt not try to kill God. That's probably a priority. That would probably be like 12. And 11 might be, thou shalt not destroy a planet. I mean, like, we figured this was like incorporated in there somehow, but that's how reprogrammed you are. And I have nothing against religion, like I've said prior. I have many people of Hebrew faith, theists, agnostic, all kinds of stuff. I love them. The only thing that I look for is, are they good souls, and do they enjoy families and friends and trade food and life and humor? That's what I'm looking for. I'm a good trader. Christopher Columbus done messed this planet up and all of his people behind him because Second Amendment freaks wanted not flint rock or whatever the heck it is, those inaccurate pistols and rifles, because if you do a drive-by with that, you can't kill people, can you? It's not as effective. You can, but it's a lot less than an AK full auto. And Glock's guilty of not fixing that problem to make it a machine gun and like selling them. So there's a bunch of reprogramming going on. And this is from God, not me. I'm not going after NRA people, but you have a right to protect yourself. But when that was written, it was that timeline. It didn't say you are to go down the future and be the equal of the military. They said you were supposed to protect yourself from other people, meaning if everyone had that and the military had more power, you wouldn't have fucked up. But they were going to get you anyway. Plus, don't forget the government introduced a bunch of weapons to the fine country of Mexico. I'll leave that alone, and other places. So I'm not being disrespectful, but it's a cluster, okay? It's a big, big cluster. And don't forget, you got to solve that. And everything you do has to flow chart towards utopia. Nobody's going to kill themselves. Everyone has a purpose. No weapons. And all the people are going to go, they're taking away our weapons. No, you're going to need them. You are. Because everyone defied God. And this isn't that God, Jesus, devil event. That was supposed to happen way after 200 million years because our resources got smoked through. This is, why are you trying to kill God and we're not going to let you destroy yourselves? But this was originally an animal planet. And on the table is returning it, just like Jupiter, back to an animal planet. So why don't you do the disclosure? Because I do not want to go down that road. It is the equivalent of doing Jackass with someone in an earpiece that straight up is a Mensa jacking me. And it's going to be a nightmare. Hi, baby. Every time he wakes up, he does that before he gets food. He beats me in meditation. Here, you want to beat my cat in meditation? Here's another small prerequisite on my bonus. You have to beat your cat in meditation, and it goes as follows. He eats in a 12-hour period, let's say once an hour, they're nibblers. So you get to mimic his schedule if you want to do the hardcore algorithm. But you get to nibble, and he gets, my cat, cold water and room temperature water, and dry food and wet food. Now you can do steak, anything you want, but it's only 2 items and 2 liquid items. And then you have to do it like him, eat all through the day, small little snacking, and then you have to take naps like him and get as content as him. But you also have to do the same first 3 heartbeats. Oh my gosh, I woke up, second heartbeat, whoever God is, thank God, I'm alive, I gotta share this love, third heartbeat, I must share it with somebody. And that's what he just did when he walked by. My grandpa does it, my mom does it, I do it. We're all Priuses. You be you, I'll be me. But we got this stuff down, and you got to beat your cat and figure out what he's doing and how he's staying so content. And then at the pyramids, figure out why that cat's content with his arms forward, figure out the temperatures, figure out a recipe that's made. And by the way, the cat has quite a few meanings, most likely about 300. And you have to pick something and pick out all of those items, plus go through the pyramids, be able to decipher some important stuff like the 300 people. No big deal. Anyway, my cat's more important than you. He's hungry. He's calling me. Psst, psst. Anyway, so you hack oral technology and all this stuff, you do disclosure. No problem. And by the way, you'll go batshit crazy when the oral technology turns on and a bunch of people start talking to you and you're trying to tune it in and you got dialect people talking to you. We do have dialect speech, right? And they are advanced. Now I think I got tinnitus and I'm like, I'm going nuts. Now I got God talking. So yeah, it's just so pleasant. Now, is God wonderful? You bet your sweet ass. Without him, I wouldn't have done this. But you do you, I'll do me. And I can do any video any which way. So, accepting applications. And by the way, all of that was baby shit. The diagnoses, flipping them, weren't too bad because I worked on it a little bit. And as a hint, one of them has multiple tracks, just like a computer does, where people think they're schizo or some shit. Dude, splitting tracks in your mind really makes your shit fast. So I guess you got to figure out how to hack your mind, body, and soul, hack your dreams, figure out all of God's original hypothesis, which is available in the left side of your brain, figure out how to use the VR player on the right side, figure out how to turn off your dreams at night to solve PTSD and law enforcement having trauma from killing somebody. Little baby shit, dude. Figure out how to get in the maze through your dreams, figure out how to get by the native, figure out what you're supposed to do on the other side, figure out that a soul is real, weigh a body at the time of death to figure out it's about 4 pounds when you're an 82-year-old woman. Yep, easy peasy. So anyway, you fill out your act, or introduce yourself, or just go, hey dude, what's really going down? Now I'm starting to go think there's a little bit more happening and I might not want to die and get baked with a thermonuclear war. Get monkeypox on my wiener does not sound fun after seeing a dude's nose get eaten away. Oh my God, and I'm frightened of that, dude. And I never wanted to live on a planet that's trying to convert to hell or destroy itself. So maybe you need those values. So you do you, I'll do me. If you're new here, look, I'll do some positive shit coming up, but some people are ganking me, and I just ganked their title back, and I just hate thieves. You guys need to get a little more honest. You have to make a game out of making people more honest, figure out how to extend the honeymoon period, and do a whole bunch more, and I've already got that. I'm going to release it, and those are small little pieces to help out with the reprogramming. So you have to figure out all the reprogramming that's wrong, not just like in the UFO community where you understand there's deceit, but like fake news, everything. Anyway, sorry kitty, I know. Oh yeah, and you gotta hack your cat. You gotta jack 60,000 moves from him versus a human, and then not screw up with blatant side effects like when I play ping pong with him. He's memorizing my code, and then you go, oops, now he's got my gift. So other than that, no big deal. And I'm still on pilot. So pilot light. And then you also have to have no fear of falling and learn how to fly. So, and I don't like heights. Anyway, easy peasy pudding pie. Thanks for watching New Game, New Rules. I should hack YouTube and turn it into a radio station with software. Someone's a programmer out there. You really need to hit me up in the United States, but I don't feel like getting hacked anyway. See ya, toodles. Thanks for watching. If you like it, like. And if you're a hater, hate. And then I can take a tally and see how many people I hit a nerve on. And then we'll just bag and tag you later. Not my problem. I'm here for the good people. Don't care about the bad. You want to keep going bad? God bless you. Just stay away from me and my family. Till the next video, New Game, New Rules. This is Uncle Beaker with Love on the Air in 96.7. Doing a challenge. Hey, boo-boo, what you got in the picnic basket? I got a thermonuclear device. And by the way, we don't have any weapons. We're theists. It's you. Everything they told you was a lie. You're so scrambled from them and you that they rely on you by predictability, just like I'm doing, to do what you're doing. And I'm not doing what the government's doing. I'm telling you the truth. Anyway. See you, wouldn't want to be you.